Victor from Heel Hook Photography, sitting in Budo MMA with Scott. We're doing some open rolls today on a Friday. We had lots of people out. It was pretty sick. And I'm here to talk to you because you're badass for starters, and you just got a little podium promotion down at the Worlds, which was pretty sick. So you got your brown belt. So yeah, it's awesome to come out and roll with you. And
thanks, appreciate you having, being and training with us.
Yeah, no problem, man. I like it. It's a different style and keeps things interesting.
You gotta share techniques, and it's good that people from other schools come and train with us. It's very important for us too. We learn like different styles from other people, so it's
for sure.
It's very important in the jiu-jitsu community.
For sure. Now, your martial arts journey didn't start with jiu-jitsu. No, it started with karate, right? When did you start with karate?
I started Kyokushin karate when I was 9 years old, and my parents pushed me into doing it because I got bullied in school, and they just wanted me to be a bit more confident, and that's how it started. So we went around town. This is a small little town, Campbellton, New Brunswick, and there was a few martial arts schools. There was a taekwondo, there was judo, and then there was Kyokushin karate, and so I tried everything. And for some reason I was drawn to Kyokushin because at that time the kids train with the adults full contact. Mm-hmm. And of course my parents were like, I don't know about that, full contact, hitting each other, at that age. But for me, it was like, yeah, this is the real stuff. So this is how I'm going to learn. So I chose Kyokushin karate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what separates it from other branches of photography. Is the
Kyokushin karate is it's full contact, and it's physically demanding. Not just it's physically, it's emotionally demanding. It's just high expectations overall, really high expectations. And it takes a really long time to get a black belt, so it's not semi-contact like a lot of other karates where you just touch and it's a point kind of thing. It's actually real self-defense, and at the heart of it, it's a self-defense martial art. Yeah. And it's also a character building type of martial art, to make sure that you understand humility and all those values, really, and it's really hardcore. It's very formal to the extreme, and I'm drawn to it because of that reason. It's very, very strict, and you learn to be really tough.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's a bit of my Kyokushin journey as a child,
Yeah, and then how, when did you achieve your black belt? Because I know you do have your black belt.
I do, yeah. So my black belt journey in Kyokushin, I was 15. So from Campbellton, it's like an 8-hour drive to Montreal. That's where we had to test for it, and I remember it was like a full day, and they just plowed all the requirements in one day, and they made me fight like 10 times with all these adults. They beat the crap out of me. Yeah. So I walked out of there like just like really banged up. Yeah. Couldn't walk properly. Black eye and. Yeah. And so yeah, that was really young. I got my black belt at 15. They don't do that anymore. You have to be 18 years old. So they recognize that the black belt represents not just a skill level, it's a maturity level as well, which is good. I agree with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's when I got my black belt. Well, interestingly enough, though, when I moved to Vancouver from the East Coast, I was asked to go back to white belt.
Really?
Yeah. I was asked to go back to white belt and start over again because my certificate wasn't recognized by the branch chief here. Huh. And and that's the good thing about Kyokushin. The humility, it was like, no problem. It's not about the belt. Yeah. I'll start at white belt and we'll just go from there. So it's, it's about learning who your instructor is and building a relationship with the students. And once that happened, they saw the skill level, they knew who I was. They made me test for it again. Yeah. No problem. So I tested again, second time. So I tested my black belt twice. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the black belt test here at that time, I was about 25 years old at that time. It was really demanding. It takes about 6 to 8 months to actually test for your black belt.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So there's a few stages that need to happen for the exam.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And then when did you get into jiu-jitsu? When did you start?
Yeah, jiu-jitsu, well, you know, my good friend Mike Hansen, you know, always talked about jiu-jitsu. Well, okay, let's go back a little bit. Jiu-jitsu, you know, when the UFCs came out, and I was a fan of MMA when the UFCs first started, 1, 2, and 3. And, you know, just watching Royce Gracie, you know, doing his thing, I just thought that was just amazing. I was drawn to it immediately. And, yeah, I was so impressed with what you can do with all these techniques. And you know, I had a few friends. We just roll on the carpet in the living room for fun, just because we just so excited about it.
Yeah.
And there was no jiu-jitsu schools in Vancouver at that time, so it was like, how am I going to learn this? I really want to learn this. So I went to the library. You know, there was no Google or anything like that, so I had to go to the library and, like, you know, get some books.
Yeah. And
it was all Japanese jiu-jitsu though.
Oh, okay.
So they showed all these joint manipulations, but it was all based more around standing on your feet, self-defense. There was nothing that I saw in the UFC.
Yeah.
So I waited, procrastinated, and finally, you know, I heard of Marcus Source in the area, and I didn't make enough money to go pay for the membership. It was really expensive at that time. And I just continued with Kyokushin, not thinking too much about jiu-jitsu. And Mike Hansen came and he's like, you know, I know a place we can try. Let's just go try. So he's, you know, he really helped me, like,
push you for it.
Yeah, let's go just do this.
Yeah.
So it was great. We tried it out with Don Whitefield, you know, which is my instructor still.
Yeah.
And, you know, at that time, with my first class in jiu-jitsu, I thought I was in the top shape of my life, you know, because I was training karate, you know, 3 times a week. I was doing some kickboxing a couple times a week. I was doing weights, you know, I was running. I was, you know, training about 5-6 days a week. And I do this jiu-jitsu thing, and I got smashed horribly. I got beat up like I couldn't believe. I left thinking that I was out of shape.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was immediately challenged. I was like, I have to learn this. That's it, I'm doing this. And it was from the first day that I decided, I committed my life to it.
Yeah.
From the first day, I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do now. Like, I'm gonna learn this and master it, you know. So I'm continuing that journey still today, you know.
It's a huge path. Like it blew my mind when I first went in, and like the tiniest guy, like I'm not a little guy, and like the smallest guy in the class just manhandled me. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
It's incredibly humbling.
You know, it is.
To be beat up.
It really is.
To be beat up in jiu-jitsu, it puts you right where you belong.
You know, it's so true. It's so true. It's good to get beat up every once in a while, right?
You have to.
Keeps you humble.
Yeah.
Keeps you humble. Now, you competed locally first, I'm assuming, before internationally?
Yeah. Now the thing for me about competition that's always been important, you know, like going back to Kyokushin karate, you know, just competition in general. You know, I've always wanted a gold medal. So I've competed in karate many times, and I've got 2nd place, 3rd place, get eliminated. Just like, I had a hard time getting the gold medal. I knew I had the skill for it, but for some reason I just couldn't get there. So like, and I didn't have any coaches, you know, to teach me like the psychology behind competition. So it was a lot of trial and error. You know, like, how do you prepare? What am I supposed to do the last week before tournament? Blah blah blah. You know, so I'm like, okay. I started jiu-jitsu. I'm like, I really love this. I gotta try the competition, and I'm gonna play with this, like how the preparation is supposed to be and how I approach the competition itself. So I lost my first tournament. I won my first fight, but I lost my 2nd match. It was bad. Like I have it on video, and it was like, wow. Okay, so I got to do some changes. So I analyzed how I reacted to tournaments.
Yeah.
And it took right up to blue belt finally to do a gold medal. You know, I competed as a white belt maybe about 4 or 5 times, and so I just couldn't succeed. And then as a blue belt, for some reason, it clicked one day.
Just mentally stronger and more prepared for it.
I was just there for a good time. I was calm, and for me that worked really well. And I wasn't worried about the gold medal. I was more worried about just winning the situations kind of thing. And it was a round robin tournament, so it was good to get, because once I get in the flow of it, then I can't stop. I'm loving it. So I fought 9 fights.
Wow.
And I submitted probably seven guys.
That's impressive.
So it was just the momentum.
Yeah.
And in the end, I was in finals. I'm like, okay, this is great. I'm in finals. I'm not going to worry about the gold medal. I'm just going to worry about what I can do here. You know, let's try to submit this guy. And I ended up tapping him out. It was great.
That's awesome.
So that was my dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got your gold.
I got my gold. That was good enough for me at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I continued my challenges though. I can't just stop there. I love jiu-jitsu so much. It's like, okay, what's next then?
Just push and push.
What's next? You know. Then I had a friend, Raz Chan. It came one day. I'm always interested in training with other people from other schools. So there's open mats always around happening. So when I get invited, I meet new people.
Yeah.
So I met Raz, and we're just rolling, having fun. And he's like, hey man, like, let's go to the World Masters. They're doing the first World Masters ever. This is 2012. And he's like, I think you do pretty good. I'm like, I'll just go do it. Yeah. So we went there together. You know.
Is it a blue belt?
As a blue belt.
Yeah.
So just for fun, I didn't even go down there with a team.
Yeah.
It was just me and Raz. Raz, he competed multiple times. He's won a few big tournaments. And so I'm like, okay, this is cool. I'll learn from Raz a little bit. And so he was like, it was interesting. Like every fight, there's no corners for your coach. You have to actually get to the seats and push people away and scream.
Really?
Armbar, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, he was really loud, so I heard him, but I just was able to submit all my opponents during that tournament, so.
That's awesome.
And again, it's a lot of that mindset that I've learned from competing so much. It's just to stay calm and enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
For me, it's big to be I want to be in a good mood when I compete.
Yeah.
Some people, they want to just like they want to use hatred.
Yeah.
Some people need to have adrenaline. Some people, I don't know. Of course, there's different styles for everybody. But for me, it was just to stay nice and calm and relaxed and just enjoy the fight. Because I'm not afraid to fight. That's for sure. So the anxiety, dealing with the anxiety is not the fear to fight. It's just excited. I'm excited because I want it to happen now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's I have to manage that. So
it's more of a mental battle than like a physical battle.
For sure.
Mental battle first, and then it's more of a physical battle.
Yeah. If you're prepared physically, then you tell yourself, okay, I've done everything I could, so let's not worry about the physical thing. Just don't get sick. Don't get injured before the fights.
Yeah. And
let's just worry about the mental thing and stay calm and relax and don't think about the tournament all the time. Try to get a lot of sleep and That's my first experience competing at the Worlds. Yeah.
And that was blue, and then you won that one.
I won that one.
Another gold. You got a gold. You got
got another gold, and that was not my dream. It was just me having fun. So this is all like icing on the cake for me. And then
and you went back the next year.
Yeah, so I got promoted to purple belt, and I decided to do the pans.
Yeah.
And going to purple belt was interesting. So I lost a few tournaments, and thankfully I recorded them and I fixed my mistakes because purple belt, people really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You can't just use your will against someone. You got to actually start playing a game.
Yeah, I have noticed that as I start to roll purple belts that really know what they're doing.
They know everything you're trying to do, so there's no point in trying to impose your will. You gotta you gotta be playful. You gotta expand your knowledge, be playful, and be even calmer. So I lost the pans that year. I won my first match and I got eliminated on the second match with just a points situation.
Oh yeah.
So that's fine, I competed a few more times before the Worlds because I knew I wanted to do the Worlds again in 2013. And I fixed a few things and I felt pretty confident. So, before the tournament, I made sure I drilled the hell out of what I needed to work on. And I went in and I was able to beat everybody just by points this time. It's really hard to submit someone.
Yeah.
For me, at purple belt, it was really hard to submit someone, for sure.
Yeah.
But I was able to always be ahead and, you know, get my points and just stay ahead, you know, with my stubbornness.
Yeah. Did you find when you went to the Worlds the second time that you were like even calmer the first time? Because you didn't really know what to expect the first time you went to the Worlds, right?
It was interesting. Yeah, the first time at the Worlds, I'm no obligation. It's like, you know, I didn't have anything to prove or whatever, so it was quite easy to just jump in and see what happens. So it was like, oh, and all of a sudden you win.
Yeah.
And then the next year comes around and you're like, okay, some people are actually expecting you to be there. Then my instructor, Don, decided to come down and coach.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, there's a bit more pressure. You know, I'm gonna have this guy screaming in my ear and he's my instructor, so I can't screw up. I don't want to humiliate myself and or embarrass myself or the team or whatever, right? So I wanted to make sure that I did an excellent job. But I managed to, you know, stay calm and just go through the process that I always did for tournament, win or lose. It should never matter. Just have a good attitude about it, and I managed to win.
Sick.
So that was like awesome, you know.
That's wicked.
Yeah.
That's wicked. All by points.
All by points though, you know, I wasn't able to submit anybody on that one, but man, these guys are like really, really good. And you can, when you're fighting them, you can tell, like, you know, you may be watching the videos and you're like, oh, you know, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? But man, sometimes you feel like, wow, if I just give a little bit of space, that's it, it's gone.
Done.
That situation could be gone. So, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I played it very conservative. Yeah. And then, continuing, tried the pans again. That was on my mind because I lost it.
Right.
2013, I lost the pans, and I'm like, geez, I really like that just for, you know, I just like,
let's get it back.
Just to have the pans. Well,
yeah.
Why not? Let's go. If I can win the Worlds, I should win the pans.
Yeah.
That's the way I looked at it. So, I went in there pretty prepared, and I won 5 matches, and I was able to submit 1 guy.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had a really good finals match with one of the AOJ fighters, Danny Wilson. Man, awesome fighter. I would say he's probably a better technician than me.
Yeah.
But like I said, I was just a little bit more stubborn.
Right.
He's a really good fighter, man. But I just managed to just stay stubborn and ahead in advantages. But there was no points.
No points, just advantages.
No, I almost took his back, and we were stuck there for a second. Like I didn't even have my hooks in.
Yeah.
I just had like a sort of a seatbelt and one leg.
Yeah.
And it was like, stop. And he squirmed out of there, and we ended up on our feet, and the ref gave me an advantage, and that was enough to to win.
That's crazy how it's just that close.
So close, man.
Yeah.
But that was a great match. I learned from that for sure. I really respect the AOG team. And yeah, it was 2014 pans.
So did you win that one overall?
I won all my matches and won the gold.
That's sick.
Yeah, in the pans for 2014.
That's
So
badass.
that was awesome. Took a little break, then I started training all over again.
And then the Worlds.
Then the Worlds 2014 just happened about a month ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a lot of pressure because
Well, you won the year before.
I won 2012, 2013 as purple belt, and I'm going in again as purple belt. So you have to respect that, a lot of the fighters that I fought in 2013 are already brown belts. So I wasn't going to face the same people. I knew there were going to be new purple belts that are probably very slick, high-level blue belts, and you can't underestimate those guys.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was very interesting, I managed to get it again by points, no submissions, and it was very interesting because everyone played deep half guard.
Really? Everyone?
And it was just a really tight, like it seemed like it was like an old school type of jiu-jitsu game. So I spent months drilling like all this new stuff, the leg drags and barambolos and just more modern style jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because 2 weeks before the tournament, I just like, I should probably drill passing the deep half guard just to be familiar with it a little bit. So that was helpful because once I got in, I'm like,
you just did this.
I just knew what I
Perfect.
do. And I was like, thank God, because otherwise I think I would have lost.
Is that a total fluke that you just ended up?
It was sort of a gut feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That was a total gut feeling.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I had no idea.
You just kind of...
I'm like, I drilled all these positions, how to pass this, that, this.
Yeah.
What about the deep half guard? Yeah, that's a really bad position to be in if you're on top of deep half guard. Because you're off balance, they got your hips, they got your leg.
Yeah, your base is toast.
It's so easy to tip someone over and just get that easy little 2 points. So.
And you got your brown belt on the podium.
Yeah, that was cool. That's another thing I didn't expect. A lot of people say, they're talking about it. Oh yeah, Scott's gonna probably get as a brown belt. If he makes it on the podium. But with Don, my instructor, you can't expect anything.
Yeah.
Just let him decide. He knows when it's right. It doesn't, podium or not, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But all of a sudden, I see this guy come around, whips the brown belt over my neck.
That's wicked.
And promoted me right down the podium. It's special because, I didn't have to go through a test or anything. And I would, of course. But it's a special moment. You win the Worlds and
the Worlds is a test.
You get a new belt, and then all the guys beside you are like, thank God he's in the next division. I get a chance next year.
Oh, good. Perfect excuse. Perfect excuse.
No, all the competitors were so cool, man, this year.
That's awesome.
Really good guys, yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick. All right, we're going to look at the match, and then we'll do a little voiceover action.
Cool. Oh, final match.
Yeah, jumping right to the end.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect from this guy. So I always like to give them the chance to do the move.
Rather than initiating, you
have
to react.
Yeah, so you see right there, deep half guard. I'm like, okay, here we go. I always make sure I get the forearm. So, I feel the waiter sweep, but, I don't know, I've done so much yoga ball, standing on the yoga ball, I just sort of know where to put my, my weight.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a little bit, because he can sweep me, so easily right here. This is not good for me. It looks like he's in danger, but I'm in danger. Yeah, I'm making a mistake here too. I could do this better. I should have been pulling more towards his elbow. And I needed to let go of his head for that. You can see that I'm sort of trying to keep his head caught because I have the back, taking his back on my mind. So you can hear Don here yelling at me, go towards the elbow. Elbow. Yeah, but I can feel his, this is his game, eh? This is definitely what he...
he's comfortable there.
He's comfortable there. And he's patient. He kept us here for the whole match almost, I tried to make him more comfortable there with a little pressure on the face, but didn't seem to care too much. He's timing it. He's trying to time for the double underpass. Yeah, I'm just trying to peel his hand off. I have a setup here that I was drilling. It's a triangle. If I can rip his arm out and scoot my hips towards his back a little bit and kick my foot free, I'll be able to do a reverse triangle choke.
Right.
So that's what I was drilling a lot. But there's a nice arm lock there too. So it's a little, it's a strange one. Yeah, so of course this looks like we're stalling here.
So that was the ref saying that you're stalling? It wasn't an advantage or anything?
No, this is, he's telling both of us to do something, and we are both sort of waiting for each other to do something. It's true, I just, again, I didn't know. I didn't want to take too many risks here.
Right.
So right here, this is where I'm like, okay, I'm happy now. I got a nice little guard pass here, that I can just, my foot goes over his head. But he let go, and he gave me his north-south a little bit. And all my students are really good at north-south, inverted. So this is easy for me to deal with. And there you go. Yeah, always leg cramped up here. Yeah, so I wasn't too sure what happened. I don't know, he was saying, he was sort of going, my knee. I'm like, okay. I look at the ref and look at his knee or something.
they just let it pause it in the middle?
Yeah, I heard you're supposed to be DQ'd when the paramedics show up, but I don't know. I'm not too sure. Hey, if you want to continue, that's fine with me. As long as it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say that was a leg cramp. He probably stressed his body because I was passing his guard.
Right.
That's what happens when people they know they're losing a position. They
Mm-hmm.
just tighten up a lot. Yeah, so again here, I know, I could feel, the strength in his hips, and, if I would give him some space, he would just fly out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I was quite surprised, actually, with how strong he was.
How strong he was.
Yeah. So, right here, I'm just concerned about keeping him down. And I'm trying to progress, of course, because I want to try to get a submission somehow, so I'm feeding him a lapel through, hoping for a potential choke. Yeah, there's right here too. I'm trying to get under his arm. There's a nice combo right here. You can attack the arm if you bring your knee through the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I'm trying to fit my knee under his elbow there a little bit, just to get him up a little bit. And it'll give openings for other things. But
I'm just too tight.
he played tight as hell, really tight. But the good thing is I got that lapel passed over for a Bravo choke or a paper cutter. I think I go for a paper cutter. I sort of remember. I think he's complaining that I'm.
He's complaining. Why is he complaining?
I don't know.
That you're not doing anything?
Yeah, and I think I got an advantage for some reason. I don't know why. But that's fine. I'll take that. Yeah, there's they're getting that lapel through as well. There's a baseball choke you can do there.
I'm liking that move a lot right now.
Oh, it's beautiful. And it definitely exposes his back a little bit. Yeah, but I just keep, I know we're almost finished here, but I would have really liked to do a submission. Yeah, so here I think I got the collar right, and I just got to get the choke happening. I think I probably have it in at the moment. I needed another 10 or 20 seconds to do an official finish for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't deep enough, but it was the beginning. At least I tried.
Yeah, it was.
I tried.
It was there.
He was pretty choked. It's unfortunate. I know how he feels. It must not be a good feeling. I researched this guy afterwards, and he's actually won a few big tournaments.
Oh, nice.
And he probably wanted to win this. I believe he won the World Masters 2012 purple belt. So he's been purple belt 12, 13, 14. So this is his, third year. So it took him a good half an hour before he came and talked to me.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, but you know what? I understand. At the end he was totally cool and.
Not yet. Way to go. 1, 2, 3. Here it comes. Yeah! You guys got it.
All right, yeah. So we changed clothes because we're getting cold. But yeah. So Scott from Budo, thanks a lot, man. It's been a pleasure rolling with you and interviewing you.
Thank you, Victor.
I love your passion for the adventure and the progress and the journey. And
thanks
awesome.
for looking into it, and then your curiosity.
I love it. It's one of those things where it just keeps going. And I think as soon as you figure something out, you really haven't figured it out.
That's what I'm finding too.
Because 6 months later, like someone else will be like, ooh, but if you put your hand here, changes everything.
Yeah.
And that's what I love jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you're in North Burnaby up by Hastings and Boundary, come check out Budo MMA and kick some ass. Alrighty, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Victor.
Thank you.
Os.
Os.